Welcome to the Man Cave. And whether you have a man-cade, a man-cave, a she-cave, a they-cave, a she-shed, a they-zone, however you identify, I want you to know that you're always welcome here at Moxxi's Man Cave. Whether you're from another planet, it doesn't matter. We're all inclusive here. Today's episode, we're looking at visual pinball. And unlike the last video I did on visual/digital pinball, which was all about the consumer products, this episode is all about those games you're not going to be able to play if you don't build it yourself. So this is a little nudge in that direction. Build it yourself. However, please note that compared to last year when I built mine, things are going to be a little more pricey these days. Absolutely. So it's certainly easy to see why consumer products, consumer pinball, is a little more enticing at this point for sure. But I just want you to see what you might be missing. But before we get to the video, please take a moment to subscribe, slap in a like if you can, and definitely get down into the comments and let me know what you think, and because I'd love to hear from you. So let's get on to the video right now. Thank you. Before there was video games, there was pinball. And before pinball, there was pachinko out of Japan, and before pachinko was bagatelle. But we're not here to really talk about those. We're going to talk about pinball. The pinball that I grew up with was what we call now electromechanical pinball. And these were pinball machines that were manufactured between in the 30s up to the late 70s. And they're distinct in their hum when you hold down the flippers, in their bells and chimes when things are bouncing off the bumpers, and of course their scoreboards on the backboards that would turn, and it wasn't digital. You just see the number and it would be on a little rotating circle and it would turn and give you your point score. Well, if you're a fan of virtual pinball, sure, there's a lot of great fancy pinballs made from the 90s and the 80s and 2000s and right up until, what we're dealing with now with some of the Stern tables. But some of the greatest tables are the EM tables, those old style tables that take you or me back to those days of hanging out at the chip stand or at the beach or going to an arcade and hearing that distinct sound of real pinball. In Visual Pinball X, or VPX as it's known, there are hundreds upon hundreds of faithfully recreated EM pinball tables for you to choose from. If you're into the history of pinball, you might want to start with Humpty Dumpty, which is an EM table from 1947. And it's been faithfully recreated in VPX. And the reason it's special, and it's the very first pinball table with flippers. This one actually has 6 flippers, as you can see in the video. And it's no cakewalk. It's not like today's, solid state pinball games, where you plunge the ball and you've got 3 billion points by the time you drain it in 3 seconds. This is going to be painstaking and it's going to be difficult, as most EM tables are. Even faithfully recreated VPX tables are going to give you a challenge, but it's going to take you right back to those pinball days and those halls and, the pool halls and the arcades and of your youth. It's absolutely fantastic to see this stuff alive again and in your house. I'm taking a random sampling of the EM tables that I have. However, this one kind of sticks out because a few short years ago, I picked up a back glass of this Royal Flush off of Kijiji for my brother, who has a great collection of different things throughout his house. And I thought he'd love this because we used to play this pinball table at our chip stand at our cabin. It is unbelievable to me that I can now play at least a virtual version of this game in my house. And it's exactly like I remember it back from like 1976, 1977. That is amazing to me. And so I think it will also have that same effect on you if you were playing and if you were some of those, the older gamers that remember this stuff. You're not going to get this on the latest thing that you're going to buy at Best Buy. You're going to have to dig a little bit deeper. Here's another classic table, Joker Poker, released in 1978 by Gottlieb. Certainly, you've put some quarters in this one. This one just screams retro. I mean, check out that Jetson-style 1963 artwork on Starjet. It was released in '63 by Bally and is the first pinball game to feature multi-ball, although it wasn't called multi-ball back then. And you'd lock your 2 balls at the top, then release them, and boom, you're in pinball heaven trying to balance everything. Gemini was released in '78 as well by Gottlieb, but look at the detail. The author of this particular VPX table decided to make it look retro and well lived in. And if you look very carefully, you're going to see all sorts of incredible detail that make this look beaten and played and loved. And you're going to love having this table at home, but you have to build your own machine to get it. This is one of my all-time favorite VPX tables. It's cartoons, and it does not exist in reality. You have to have VPX to play this table. Look at the detail that the authors put into this. It was made to look like it was unearthed after years of non-use, and it's filthy, just absolutely filthy and amazingly wonderful. And you won't believe it when you play it. You'll be thinking you're playing the real thing. And if you just saw that, it comes complete with cockroaches. Let's see that again. Check it out. Here it comes. There it goes. Yeah, you got cockroaches. This thing is amazing. There's another one. There's another one. Awesome, awesome table. So much fun. Well, technically not pinball exactly. These style of baseball games were pretty popular in the 70s. Pennant Fever is from '84, so it's one of the fairly newer ones, although that's quite old now. But check out the gameplay. You press the flipper, you get the ball going, and here it goes. And you send it up that center ramp in for a home run. These games were awesome. And again, if you want to play it, you're going to have to go VPX or go home. And here is Flipper Football, made in '96 by Capcom. It's football, as in soccer, if you're on the other side of the pond and you're kicking the ball there. It's a one-player soccer game where the goal is to break through the gates at the top. They're timed, and you have to get through them, do enough shots on them to get through to score on the other team. If you drain the ball and the only way is down the center, that means the other team scores, and that's never going to happen. Oh, see, I was talking and I wasn't paying attention. All right, so halftime's over, and let's kick that ball out and let's start that again. And play teams all over the world. This game is a riot. It is a lot of fun. It will keep you going. And, oh, yeah, see in your face, other team. No, it's a pretty awesome game. And again, unless you own a real version of this, or have one down at your local arcade, the only way to play this is VPX, so get on it. The Batman 66 table is an original table, fan-made, but look at how beautiful, look at how gorgeous this is. If you're a fan of the Adam West and Burt Ward TV show, you're going to love this table. It's got the song, it's got the sounds, the biff, the pows, the bangs, and it's quite a challenging table, too. It's not going to hold your hand. You drain that ball on, just with a mistake, and you're on the ball 2 and ball 3, depending. So, once again, I'm not tooting the horn, but I'm tooting the horn. VPX, you got to get VPX if you want to play this table. You just drain the ball at same bat time, same bat channel. We'll be right back after this. Gorgar.
God, you. Give me the chili.
Diner. The Machine Bride of Pinball.
I can speak.
Oh no.
Star Wars.
Okay. Give you for a second.
Elvira and the Party Monsters. Comet. Tom and Jerry, an original cabinet.
That's my boy.
Monopoly. Of course, the Addams Family.
Mushka.
Go, man.
World Cup USA '94.
What a pass.
Well, I hope you enjoyed part 1 of visual pinball tables that you'll need to build your own VP to play. There's a lot of great stuff here. If I haven't enticed you with part 1, wait till you see part 2. It's really, really exciting. A lot of great stuff. So thanks for sticking around. Again, please sub, please like, please comment. I'll see you next time.